Hi, everybody. Happy Thursday. I'm back with another brand new book to share. And this book is Truffle. It's a dog and cat story. It's written by David McPhail and it's published by Peter E. Randall. And we want to thank them for allowing us to share this book with you today. So, are you ready to find out what this book is all about? Let me tell you, we all love this story and the illustrations, so we hope you enjoy it too. Truffle, a dog and cat story. And we see a dog and a cat. Truffle was born on a farm. While he was still a pup, his father took him up to the big house to meet his Uncle Vivian, who owned the farm. Truffle's spirit so impressed his uncle that he was put in charge of keeping the rats out of the barn and the badgers out of the fields, where they sometimes dug holes that the tractor fell into. Truffle enjoyed his work and he took pride in doing it well. The only difficulty he had was with cats. Nothing irritated Truffle more than the sight of a cat sleeping on the job while the mice ate their fill in the corn crib. Truffle would howl loudly, waking the cat, which would then dash off with Truffle close behind. He never actually caught the cat, and he would not harm him if he did. It was all about the chase. Ben, doesn't that sound like Charlie and Miss Kitty? They do that too. Truffle worked hard and saved his wages, and when Uncle Vivian died and left him a small inheritance, Truffle decided to retire. He had always had a secret desire to be a gentleman of leisure. Saying goodbye to his friends on the farm was not easy. So he's off. Nonetheless, Truffle moved to a small cottage overlooking a nearby village. The very next day, Truffle walked to the village and purchased a well-made suit from Roland the tailor. I wonder how Charlie would look in a well-made suit. Every morning after tending to his garden, Truffle would go for a stroll, encountering many cats along the way. Cats! Why? What do they do besides sleep, he wondered. Truffle tried to ignore them. He would put his hat down over his eyes and fix his gaze on the ground before him. But once in a while, he would lose control and chase after the cat. Sometimes this resulted in damage to his fine suit, and Truffle would be forced to return to the tailor to shop for repairs. Sometimes Charlie can't help himself either. Truffle made several stops on his morning walk. The first was Hazel's tea room. Hazel had a cat that liked to rub against Truffle's legs. How annoying. But Truffle always managed to maintain his composure long enough to finish his tea and biscuit. Then Truffle would cross the lane to the library to read the newspaper. There was a cat at the library, too. It keeps the mice from eating the books, Ms. Torres, the librarian, claimed. But Truffle was dubious. Do you think the cat prevented the mice from eating books? I've got a book coming up about mice eating books. I'll read that next week. On Tuesdays, Truffle went from the library to Clyde's barbershop for a trim. Even Clyde had a cat. There were cats everywhere. One rainy day, Truffle decided to stay home. He picked a pailful of raspberries from his garden. Then, using his grandmother's 2-minute boil method, he put up 27 jars of jam. That is a lot of jam, isn't it? In the afternoon, when the sky cleared, Truffle took some jam to Agnes, the old sheep, who lived in a caravan down by the river. That evening, as he sat in the garden watching the sun go down behind the distant hills, Truffle realized that he had never been anywhere beyond the village. So the next day, he went to see a travel agent. I want to travel, Truffle told the woman sitting behind a large desk. I want to go where there are no cats. I think you will find cats just about any place you go, the woman explained. I suppose so, Truffle sighed, but I would like to see the ocean. So the woman arranged a trip to the seashore. This dog has quite a good life, doesn't he? That night, Truffle stayed up late, poring over the travel brochures that the woman had given him. The sun was coming up as Truffle walked to the train station and purchased a ticket to his destination. Once on board, he handed his ticket to the conductor, and then he sat back down to enjoy the ride. Upon his arrival, Truffle headed to the seaside inn where he would be staying. From the top of the hill, Truffle saw the ocean for the very first time. It was dazzling. For those of you that have gone to the ocean, do you remember the first time you saw it? And what did you think? Continuing to the inn, Truffle checked in and was shown to a cozy room overlooking the harbor. The following morning, Truffle went exploring. Out on the quay, the fishing boats were unloading their catch, a task made more difficult by the flock of seagulls overhead and the dozens of cats underfoot. As Truffle stood watching, one of the cats slipped on the wet stones and tumbled into the harbor. When it failed to reappear, Truffle dived in after it. Several seconds later, Truffle and the cat popped to the surface, where one of the fishermen pulled them out of the water. Do you think Charlie would go save a cat? What do you think, Ben? You don't think so? Maybe. Murphy would. The cat named Tom thanked Truffle for rescuing him, and then he offered to show him around the town. Somewhat hesitantly, Truffle accepted Tom's offer. As Truffle and Tom strolled about the town, they chatted. Tom explained that he lived in an alley with several other cats and got his food from the fishermen. Truffle told Tom about his life in the village. It sounds wonderful, Tom said. Oh, it is indeed, Truffle assured him, though sometimes I get lonesome. What do you think is going to happen now? When it came time for the journey home, Tom saw Truffle off. As the train pulled away from the station, Truffle felt sad. He would miss his new friends. Truffle was happy to be home, but something felt different. Before, he never had any interest in cats, nor any affection for them. But now, whenever he met one, he would lift his hat and say hello. At the tea room, Truffle chatted with Hazel's cat Maud as he sipped his tea. He's learning to like cats. He was even cordial to Clyde's cat Bill. Still, he missed Tom, so he sent him an invitation to come and visit. A week went by, and then one evening, there was a knock at the door. It was Tom. The two friends went for walks, worked in the garden, and picked apples in the orchard. And sometimes, just for fun, Tom would let Truffle chase him down the lane to the tea room. That was nice of him, wasn't it? Tom intended to stay for just a few days, but a month went by, and much to Truffle's delight, he was still there. In the end, Tom never left. The end. So, what did you think about this story? I mean, Truffle had a great life, so I'm sure Tom really enjoyed staying there. I think you should definitely come in, check out this book, and really enjoy this beautiful story and the beautiful illustrations. I will be back next week, and like I promised, there'll be a book about a mouse who eats books. Everybody have a great weekend, and I'll see you back here next week. Bye for now.